All right, this video is about my dad's Armatron watch. I recently got hold of this and I have been restoring it a little bit. And this video shows taking it apart. So we had to get some repairs done on it. I got it back together with this temporary crown and winding stem. But in order to get that put back into the case, I had to take that red crown out. So we need to get some forceps and get some screwdrivers and some tools here to take this apart so that I can get that red crown out of there. I'm wearing these gloves so that I don't put any oils from my hand on there, get any sweat or anything, because everything in there is clean, and it's just really important to keep the interior of the watch as clean as possible. So I'm using a screwdriver here to take this apart. You see these forceps, and now you can see this screw and how small this screw is. It's a tiny little thing. Those forceps come down to a needle point, and yet the screw looks big in the needle point, so you can see that it's really small. So there's 3 screws in this bracket that have to come out. That was the first one, and now we've got to get the second screw out, which is over here, and get the screwdriver in there and loosen that up. And then I can get my forceps and pull that screw out of there. Well, looks like it's still kind of tight in the hole, so we're going to have to get the screwdriver back and loosen that out a little bit. Get it loose. I got Bennett here with me, and he's holding the watch, so he's already enjoying it. What do you think of that watch, Bennett?
Good.
You like that? All right, so there's the second screw. Now we've got one more screw. Now pay close attention when I pull this third screw out, where it's located. I had a little bit of trouble putting this back together because I did not pay close attention to where this third screw was located, and next to it, near the end of that bracket, there is a hole in the bracket. Oh, I dropped that one. There we go. Get it back up here so you can see the screw. And there we go. We'll set that over. And that hole in the bracket, I spent quite a bit of time trying to get the screw to go in there instead of putting it in the right spot. So now we can pull the battery out, but we can't touch both sides of the battery at the same time with the forceps because that will short out the battery. So you have to be careful about that. Now we need to pull this quartz movement out. Got it out, and I got the stem out. You can see there's no longer a red stem, winding stem in there. So now we got to put the quartz movement back in. And there's a peg there that it goes down on. And I wasn't really satisfied with where that was lined up. So we got to get it in there just right, get it lined up. And again, these parts are very, very small. So it takes quite a bit of finagling to get this thing exactly right. And that's actually good right there, but it's flexing. Every time I push down on it, it pushes back up. You see that? So I wasn't really satisfied with that. End up taking it back off again to do a little bit more inspection. See what's going on. See if I can figure out why it's flexing like that. We end up putting it in there and get it into the right position. And it looks big in this picture, but it's incredibly small and light. It's like, imagine if you're moving a postage stamp with forceps and trying to get it in the right spot. It's just really, really tedious. Now I've got a second item. I got me a wooden stick there. It's non-conductive, so you don't have to worry about that. And now when I get it lined up, I can hold it with the wooden stick and then get the other end connected. Here we go. Get that in there. Come on, get it in, get it lined up. And picture it up. There we go. Now we can get that lined up, hold it on one end, swing it around, get the other end lined up, and now we've got it in position. All right, so now we can put that bracket back on that's held in with the 3 screws. A bit more checking just to make sure everything's right. And it's not flexing like it was before, so that's much better. All right, so let's get the bracket in. Here it comes. We got to rotate it around. There we go. And even that looks like a huge piece, but it is, again, smaller than a postage stamp. It's a very small piece. Got to get that over the quartz movement and get it lined back up on those 3 screw holes. There we go. Get it in position. Get that moved over. There we go. Now we've got it on the pin. Yep. And we're ready to put the screws in. And remember, those forceps come down to a needle point, and even that pegwood is sharpened down to a fine point. So it's very small stuff. So here comes the first screw. You can drop it in the hole there. Oop, upside down. Let's turn that. Oh, dropped it. All right, get that back up. Here we go. Now, drop it in the hole. It's close. Grab a screwdriver and see if we can get that down in there. Oh, careful. Careful. Oh, dropped it again. All right, we're still working on this. Here we go. Third, dropped it again. I was going to say third time's a charm, maybe fourth time's a charm. Let's see if we can get that screw in there. Here we go. All right, got a good start on it. Now, if we can tip it in, tip it down in there. There we go. There we go. Now, just tighten it up. Get that screw tightened up. And I think that screw's going to hold. This is an Armatron watch. I think my dad got it maybe in the 80s, 70s or 80s, something like that. And he wore it for many years. All right, we got our second screw to put in. This one's actually smaller. It's the same size threads, but it's a smaller size head. It's got to go in here. There we go. It's a good drop. Now, oh, and it's already, the pegwood's helping to get it lined up. Get it down in there. There we go. Get that third. I'm going to move my light so I can see a little better. There we go. Get that second screw in. See if we can get it tightened up. What do you think, Bennett? Those pretty small pieces?
Yes.
Yes. All right, we're getting it close. We're almost got the second screw in. There we go. A little bit more. I think we're just about finished with this one. I remember when I was a kid, a teenager and a young adult, buying watches that had batteries in them, and if the battery went dead, you just took it to the mall and you got somebody to replace it. I never really understood how difficult that task was. You can see me dropping the battery in here, and I'm actually dropping it in tipped the wrong way. It's got to be tipped to the other side first, and then you can move that little bracket and get it in. So I'll pull the battery back out here and tip it in the correct way. Again, using those gloves, you don't have to worry about damaging the battery or getting any fingerprints on anything. All right, now I've got it in the right position. I just need to move that bracket and be able to drop the battery down into position. So here comes a pick, forceps actually, there we go. There it is. Now the battery is in position and the watch is actually running at this point. So you'll be able to see occasionally through all the maze there, you'll be able to see the gears turn. Remember I said that there was a hole near where it was supposed to, this last screw was supposed to go? I'm trying to put this screw in the wrong hole. You can see how small that hole is, and I'm working on putting the screw in, but I can't get it into the right position. So getting it, trying to get it in there, trying to get it in the right position. So here we go, get that screw out of the way, but it is not going to work no matter how much I try. That screw is not going to take because it's in the wrong hole. So now let's get in fact, it wasn't even the right screw. There's the right screw. And I'll show you the wrong screw that I was trying to get in there, that bigger one. So my camera ran out of video storage, so I couldn't put this last reconnect in there. But that's the picture of the final thing. That's the watch my dad wore. Thanks for watching this video, and appreciate it.